Done. What it do, baby? It's a fabulous, wonderful day to be a Washington Wizards fan. Man, hey, I had to wait a little bit to make sure it was real. I had to like go to sleep, wake up, pinch myself. I had to make sure that what I seen is what I saw, and what I knew is what I know. Because I just know for sure they just gave us the first pick, and now we about to go right through that front door. You feel me? Washington Wizards, we here, baby. Wizards fans, stand up. DMV, stand up. To all my Wizards fans, my real trail Wizards fans that been all the way through it, through the mud, before the Jordan years with Juwan Howard and Chris Webber and those guys, to the Jordan era, to Gilbert Arenas era, to John Wall and Bradley Beal era. We finally made it here, y'all. We made it. And I'm going to start off this by shouting out Ted Leonsis. Sorry if I didn't get your pronunciation right, sir. The owner for my Washington Wizards. Thank you, sir, because you were stuck with Ernie Grunfeld for all them years. I didn't understand why you allowed him to have that job for all that time, but that happened. He put us in the damn toilet. It was a dumpster fire. You were the head of the snake. So you let them you set them loose and you let them ravish the whole franchise. But you fired him finally. We promoted Tommy Shepard. That was just a filler. He was just a filling gap type of dude. Until you figured out what you really wanted to do. And when you figured out what you really wanted to do, you went and hired Michael Winger, who in turn hired Will Dawkins. So Leonsis, shout out to you, sir. Thank you for putting your ego to the side, doing whatever you did that you say, you know what, I'm going to take a different approach to this. I'm going to, because you were more hands-on and kind of like, had more input or whatnot from what I seen, what I heard during the Grunfeld, Tommy Shepard years. Fast forward to right now, the last 3 years that Michael Winger and Will Dawkins been running the organization, you kind of basically, from all I heard was you saying, look, y'all the man, y'all the basketball guys, do what y'all got to do. Let me know what y'all need, let me know what y'all want, and I'm going to do my part, and y'all do y'all part. So y'all basically been letting them run the show and orchestrating the moves to put the organization in the position that we have been. Now, we've been a laughing stock. I'm going to be honest, we've been a laughing stock, but I've seen the vision. I've been watching the moves. I know what Michael Winger and Will Dawkins have been cooking up out here. And I know it hasn't come to fruition, and it takes time. Like I said, they only been here 3 years. Soon they got here, they started the deconstruction of our team. They got Bradley Beal out of here. They did all these different things. And last year when we traded for Trae Young and AD, I didn't love it and I didn't hate it. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know what that would turn into. I did like the moves because we got those assets for low value. We didn't have to give up much for those assets. So I liked the move because what I just said. It was low risk. Low risk, high reward. So why not? Take a chance. See what's up. 2 former All-Stars, 2 former NBA players. We got a former NBA champion in Anthony Davis. Let's see. Let's put them together with our young guys. Let's see what happens. Trae Young played a couple games, mixed reviews, whatever. He had some good moments. He had some whatever moments. We was playing uncompetitive basketball towards the end of the year. We wasn't focused on winning. So I'm not going to read too much into what Trae Young did or didn't do on the court. Whatever. AD never dressed up for us. Cool. And then Sunday happened. Sunday happened on Mother's Day. Shout out mama. Shout out all the mamas out there. Hey. Some of y'all so ugly, only your mother can love y'all. But look, we ain't going to get into that right now. But on Mother's Day, 2026, the Washington Wizards was blessed to land the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. Now, I lost my damn mind. I couldn't believe it. I literally couldn't believe it. I wish I recorded this, y'all, because I would have put it up. Hey, y'all, I couldn't believe it. I still, like I said, I'm just doing this video now. Goddamn, part of me still don't believe it. My Washington Wizards. I seen Kwame Brown. I seen John Wall. Don't get me wrong. especially John Wall, he was a high-end, elite, blue chip, top tier talent and prospect. He wasn't quite generational, but he was an elite prospect for sure, for sure. So John Wall, it was a definitely a boost of energy. It was exciting. He came with he produced. He led us to playoff runs. He did the best he could do, and we love John Wall out here. Shout out John Wall. So it was spectacular, and it was fitting that it all came full circle. And who was the man at the podium when they announced that we won the #1 draft? It was the man himself, the man, the myth, the legend, John Wall. So John Wall came and gave us that good vibes. He came and gave us everything he had, his blood, sweat, and tears. He put into the Wizards organization for his career. He gave us everything he had throughout his career. And he was the man in D.C. And we love John Wall. So full circle, 16 years later, he was the man that went out there and delivered us the next #1 pick, who would be the man in D.C. And I'm telling y'all now, I'm planting my flag with A.J. Sabansa. Now, let me tell y'all, this is my mindset. We all know the situation with the Utah Jazz. We know they trying to get their hands on our pick. You get your hands away. Get your hands off my damn pick, Utah. Back up. Y'all ain't gonna get that easy. Yeah, y'all ain't getting that. I don't care if y'all got that boy out Utah prep and y'all paid him to go to high school. I already heard. I didn't got to my connect. They told me everything. Y'all paid him to go to high school. Y'all definitely paid him that bag, $7 million, to go to BYU. Cool. Y'all did all this stuff in the background, was trying to get him to Utah Jazz. Okay, we get it. But listen now, if y'all want him, y'all gonna have to pay up. I'm talking about pay up, Slim. Like, yeah, that bag, that Brinks truck, back it up. But this is where I'm at, though, as a fan, me personally, right? And this is what I think our organization is going to do and how they going to look at it. First of all, Buck 6'4", 7'4", Boosie or Boost, whatever. What's up, fam? How you doing? Appreciate you stopping by, man. But listen, this is what I think our organization going to do. Now, if you're a real Wizards fan or NBA fan and you know about our team and our roster, we are stacked with young talent. We have young talent that I know our organization still wants to let grow and see what they can develop into. If we trade back, and this is hypothetically, we trade back with Utah, they say we're going to give y'all 2 more first-round picks with the swap from 1 to 2 and Ace Bailey. So this is hypothetical. So we're going to get Ace Bailey. We're going to have the #2 pick. Hypothetically, say we draft Caleb Wilson. So now we got Ace Bailey and Caleb Wilson, and we're going to have 2 more first-round picks on top of our picks for the next 2 years. That's a great haul. That's a great situation. But the problem with that is Kayshawn George, is Will Riley, is Bilal Coulibaly, is Trey Johnson, etc., etc. I can keep going. Bub Carrington. We have a lot of young players who we invested in. I didn't even name Sarr, he's a big man. I'm speaking about the guards and the wings, because that's the position that the players that clearly we targeting, which would be Sabansa or Caleb Wilson for me. Peterson is in the mix, I guess, for people, even Boozer. And I like Boozer. But I'm not that high on Peterson. I like him, but we're going to get into that in a second. We have too many youngins and not enough space for them to develop and grow. If we get Ace Bailey and we draft Caleb Wilson and we have these picks coming up, how are all these guys going to play? How are we going to formulate the team, actually? How are we going to, see who actually fits where? And it's going to be too many cooks in the kitchen. We have, and at the end of the day, talent trumps everything in the NBA. So I get it. If you have a supreme talent, you're going to go after that talent and move everybody else out the way, and which we should do. But it gets to a point. I love the potential of a lot of our youngins. Will Riley, Kayshawn George, Trey Johnson. I love them. Love their potential. Love their promise. Bilal Coulibaly, Jameer Watkins, Justin Champagnie. I could keep going. We have a lot of talent, young talent. So, if you couple that with Anthony Davis and Trae Young, it's just too much to trade back and to keep getting so many young players and assets. We have to start forming a team eventually. And it would be easier for me to consider a trade if it wasn't a blue chip, some would say generational talent on the board. But that's what we have. We have AJ Sabansa on the board. So, me personally, I'm team Sabansa. I'm team just stick and stay at number one. And we're going to pick AJ Sabansa. We're not trying to trade down. We're not trying to accumulate assets. We're not trying to do none of that. We want AJ Sabansa, period. We are going to draft AJ. We're going to start him. And then we're going to build him up along with two solid veterans, all-stars, and a cast of young talent. That's what I would do. Now, let me get into the prospects. First of all, I'm going to start with AJ Sabansa. This is my guy. This is my pick for number one pick for my Washington Wizards, AJ Sabansa. AJ Sabansa listed at 6'9", 215. AJ, he averaged. He was born in Massachusetts. This guy averaged 25.5 points a game last year in college. That will be good for number one in the country, ladies and gentlemen. He led the country in scoring. He averaged 6.8 rebounds, almost 7 boards, 3.7 assists, almost 4 assists, on 51% shooting from the field, 33% from three. He averaged a steal, 0.3 blocks. He averaged 3.1 turnovers. I don't like that. And he averaged 1 foul a game. Okay, so obviously you look at his three-point percentage, not that good, 33.1. Could be worse, could be better. Obviously need to improve there. Turnovers 3.1. That's a little high for college. But when you had the usage he had, when he was the best player on the team, and you didn't have a stacked team, it's not that surprising, and it's not that alarming. I don't think that's going to be a major problem for him going forward. So I think he needs to work on his ball handling, work on his shooting. I think he needs to work on his defensive tenacity and his defensive engagement. I feel like sometimes he gets, just lazy on defense. He doesn't put the max effort or the effort that he possibly could be putting in on certain plays, certain moments. But this is the thing about AJ. When he does lock in on defense, you see his potential. You see the defensive ceiling he has, which is very high. AJ has a very capable defender. He obviously the size, the wingspan, the ability to guard smaller people, bigger people. He's a versatile defender, and he could be a top tier or at least a good defender, a good and a versatile defender, which is very valuable in the NBA. At his peak, at his prime, he could develop into that. So this is AJ Sabansa. To me, he's the clear-cut number one prospect in the country. And for my Washington Wizards at number one, I think we would be foolish to pass him up, period. Okay, so let's go to the number two prospect that we're going to talk about real quick. This is Darren Peterson. Darren Peterson is 6'6", 205. He was born in Canton, Ohio. So, Darren Peterson, 6'6", 205. He averaged 20.2 points a game, 4.2 rebounds, 1.6 assists. He shot 43.8% from the field, which is 44% basically. 38.2 from three, which is pretty good. 1.4 steals, 0.6 blocks, 1.6 turnovers. Okay. Darren Peterson. I am not the biggest Darren Peterson fan. I'm not gonna lie. When I scout / look at players, I look way deeper than numbers, way deeper than skill, than talent. It's like I don't know. I can't explain it, but I can just pick up on intangible things. Like character things. When I don't even mean character like off the court, I mean on the court character. Like you're a basketball character. Like for this case. Or like you're a football player, football character, whatever. But we're talking about basketball right now. I look at your basketball character, your basketball intangibles, your winning intangibles. I look at all that kind of thing, those type of things when I look at a player and a prospect, your leadership qualities, how you rally your teammates, how your teammates rally around you, your energy, all that kind of stuff. That's what I look at. So I'm putting that I'm saying that so y'all got context of what I'm saying. So when I say I don't like Darren Peterson, I'm not saying I don't like him, the talent, like the player. I actually listened to a couple of his interviews today. He seemed like a solid young man. I have no problem with him. I don't hate him or nothing. I want him to have all the success that his talent and his life has for him. I want him to get it. But when it comes to this draft, It's something off with Darren Peterson compared to these other prospects, in my opinion. Not off, but he doesn't reach the bar when it comes to certain things, to me personally. And I seen an interview where he said himself that he's I forgot the exact phrase he used. He's an introvert, a quiet introvert. And it's like, I mean, that's not bad, but if I'm picking you with the #1 pick, I need you to be an alpha at some point. I need you to I need you to be like that dog. I need you to be that face of the franchise. I know I need to know I can depend on you to lead my franchise on and off the court. I need to know I can depend on you to lead the team, to drive the team forward, to drive the demand of the team, to let the team know that anything less than giving your all to be your best to win is not acceptable. That needs to be the standard you set as the #1 overall pick. And Darren Peterson, to me, does not set that standard. He does not. He's 4th on my list as far as who I would pick for the Washington Wizards. I'm dead serious. I will pick AJ's #1 clearly. My #2 since like December or whenever Duke and North Carolina played, I diagnosed Caleb Wilson as the 2nd best player in the country that game. And he's never moved since then to me. I also said Cam Boozer was #3 after that game because Cam Boozer, his floor is so damn high. Like, Cam Boozer is guaranteed to be a good NBA player. Like, it's like nothing's going to stop that man from being good. Would he be great? Would he be a superstar? We don't know that. That's the knock on Cam Boozer. I can't say that. He doesn't have elite physical traits that could tell me he could be like, that he will be dominant on that level. And he's not as skilled and as big even as like a Jokic. He's not a true 7-footer like Jokic. Or Jokic might not even be 7 foot, but he's 6'11", and he's definitely bigger, more physically like harder to stop. And he has more skill and talent than Boozer. So Boozer's not going to be able to dominate like a Jokic. He's not going to be able to dominate like a, Anthony Davis in his prime. He's not that athletically gifted. But his talent, his footwork, his IQ, his skill level is elite for college. Like, Cam Boozer is that guy. I'm not even going to lie. I have him over Darren Peterson. So Peterson's my 4th prospect. If something about Peterson gives off like James Harden to me. It gives off. I just don't believe in his intangibles. I don't believe in his basketball character to the degree of warranting him to be getting picked #1 in the NBA draft. His basketball character, his basketball intangibles does not warrant that to me, in my opinion. That's just me. In another draft, different drafts, yes, maybe. But in this draft, where AJ DeBasta is available, where Caleb Wilson is available, Cam Boozer even, no. Darren Peterson, he doesn't match that to me. Talent, skill, yes, he has it. Intangibles, character, it's a question mark. And I'm not taking no question marks with #1 pick. So that's my rap on Darren Peterson. We're gonna move on to Cam Boozer. I'm sorry. Cam Boozer was born in Florida. 6'9", 250. He averaged 22.5 points this year. He averaged 10.2 rebounds this year. 4.1 assists. 55.6% from the field. 39% from 3. Let me repeat that. 39% from 3, which is better than every other prospect I talked about. Any other prospect in this top 4 little group, he has the best 3-point shooting percentage, the big man. I just want y'all to know that. Remember that. And he averaged 0.6 blocks. I wish that'd be a little higher. 1.4 steals. That's very good. And 2.5 turnovers. Okay, Cam Boozer. 6'9", 250. I would love if he was 6'10", 6'11", but he's not. He's 6'9". That's not bad. Not bad. He's a true old school big in the sense that he has that close to the basket fundamental footwork type of game. He has that prototypical old school power forward type of body, type of style with like a new age twist though. He can put the ball on the ground. He can pass very well. He can shoot. He can play make. Like, he's like yes, he's a version of like he's a version of like a Jokic. He is. He has that type of skill set. He has that type of talent. Like, his IQ is very high. Obviously, we know the bloodlines. He's a boozer. So he grew up around the game. He grew up around the NBA. None of this stuff gonna be new to him. None of this stuff gonna be overwhelming for him. Like, he went to Duke. Duke is basically a pro basketball college. So he's gonna be used to all of that. The thing about Boozer, I like the most. Like I said, his floor is the highest. His floor is so high. It's like, it's crazy. Like, he's going to be good. Like, it's nothing that's gonna stop Cam Boozer from being good. Now, how good, how great would he be? That's the question. But that's the only question. And I feel like the only reason why that narrative is getting pushed so much is because, like, the athleticism. He's not a great athlete. I just looked at his numbers. His measurables came back from the scouting combine. He has a 35-inch vertical leap, 29-inch standing vertical leap. That's like average for the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So he's like a average NBA athlete when it comes to that, which is not bad. If you couple that with his skill level, his productivity, all of that equals a great NBA prospect. And I think that's what he is. I think Cam Boozer is my third prospect in the NBA draft this year. He's great. Whoever get him will be lucky. They will be happy. He will not disappoint y'all. He will be a great talent. Okay, let me get to the last one. And I say that for last for a reason, because he's like the most intriguing prospect of all these top guys, in my opinion. And this is Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson. 6'9", 6'10", 215. 6'10", 215, y'all. Remember that. Caleb Wilson was born in Atlanta, Georgia. 6'10", 215. This college basketball season, he averaged 19.8 points. 19.8. That's really good. 9.4 rebounds. 9.4 rebounds. Very, very good. 2.7 assists. 57.8 field goal percentage. Let me repeat that one more time. 57.8% from the field, y'all. Now, he did shoot 25.9% from three, which is 26%. Round that up. 26% for three is horrible. I ain't gonna lie. It's horrible. He needs to get better, but he shows the ability, he shows the shooting acumen to be able to work on his three-point shot and to get better. The pilot, Josiah, the pilot, shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Appreciate you, dog. Shout out to you, man. You be talking this good NBA prospect talk, you know what I'm saying? My Washington Wizards has got the #1 pick, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just over here, you know, going over the prospects and the possibilities for us or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? Making sure we do the right thing out here. Even though I got all faith in Will Dawkins and Mike Winger, like I said earlier. Shout out to y'all boys. But back to Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson. I'm hearing Tracy McGrady comparisons. I'm hearing Kevin Garnett comparisons. And both those are pretty good comparisons to me. The thing I like about Caleb Wilson, he has a high motor. He has a high motor. He plays with high energy. He doesn't seem to lack to lose energy, which is a very good thing. As he's playing, he doesn't really seem like he gets tired or like he gets worn down, anything like that. He has a high motor. He has high energy. Two great qualities. He plays defense. I think the 1.4 blocks and the 1.5 steals is a testament to his defense. He averaged 1.5 steals and 1.4 blocks at 6'10", 215, being a forward. This guy's defensive potential is through the roof. Now, this is where the Kevin Garnett comparisons come in, and I see that when I watch him because his defensive acumen. He plays defense, y'all. You don't see too many players coming out playing defense on the level that he's playing too much these days. That also has his offensive potential. So you're talking a potential high-end, dare I say, elite two-way player in Caleb Wilson. This is what we're talking about here. I told you I watched the Duke Carolina game this year. After that game, I circled this guy's name and I put him directly under AJ and said, this is the second best player I've seen all year. I just told y'all the Carolina Duke game. So y'all also know Cam Boozer was on the floor. I watched Cam Boozer at the same time. And I also put his name right under Caleb Wilson. Because I said this guy Boozer is the truth. Don't get me wrong. He's the truth for who he is. But Caleb Wilson, wow. That's what I said when I seen this guy the first time. Wow. I seen the highlights. I seen some things about him. But I said, okay, let me really watch this guy. And when I watched him, oh God, oh man. Woo. I was impressed. Now, like I said, defensive acumen, intangibles, shot making ability, especially from the mid range. This guy has a pro style ready offensive game when it comes to getting his shot off, especially from the mid range. He's like he has a great ability to get his shot off, and he knocks them down at a high rate. Hence the 57.8% from the field he shot. This guy, Caleb Wilson, he has potential. His potential might be at, or even dare I say, higher than AJ's. I'm just saying. I just have to keep it real. Caleb Wilson's potential might be at the level or even higher than AJ Dybantsa. His potential is through the roof. What Michael Jordan say? The ceiling is the roof. That's Caleb Wilson. Like that's why once I seen the KG comparisons, I see what they mean, because he's raw. I said all this, but he's raw still. Hence like KG. KG was still raw coming out of high school, but you seen his potential, you seen his talent, and you seen, well, the people that study him and got to know him and interviewed him and whatnot, they seen his mindset. They seen his drive. They seen his passion for the game. It was like, wow, this guy's a little different. So that led them to believe that he can work on the things that he's not great at and become great at it and become better at it, become a great basketball player, which Kevin Garnett in turn he did exactly that. I see a lot of the same traits in Caleb Wilson. I see the IQ, I see a level of love for the game, a level of passion for the game where he's going to work on the things that he needs to get better on and get better at them. And you just see the raw potential, the raw athleticism. Like, I don't even think Caleb Wilson know how high his ceiling could be. Like, he looks like the enigma of the draft, where it's like in 5 of 10, maybe in 5 years, we might look back and be like, was Caleb Wilson the best player from this draft class? Like, that's how much potential I think he has. So Caleb Wilson is my number 2 prospect. I said it. I'm standing by. I'm standing on it. Nobody or nothing can get me to go against what I feel, what I say, and how I see this. Y'all would get to see and know in the future, going forward, like how spectacular I am with just calling things out when it comes to sports. So don't be surprised when Caleb Wilson end up being who I said he's going to be in this video, because I see all the people that had basically AJ, then it's Darren Peterson, then it's Boozer, then it's Caleb Wilson. I'm not saying they're wrong. Obviously, none of us know yet. That's not asinine to think that. They all are great prospects, and they all are that close to each other as far as being great top prospects after AJ. To me, AJ is clearly the top prospect, but all the other 3 are close enough to each other where you can argue any one of them for 2 through 3 through 4. You can order them any way you want. But I'm just letting y'all know, and I'm sticking my flag and I'm planting my flag on this right now. Caleb Wilson, after AJ Dybantsa, is the best prospect in this draft. And in 10 years, maybe even 5 years, we might all look back and be like, damn, how do we miss that? Caleb Wilson was the best player from this damn draft. But I wouldn't miss it, because I'm telling you now, he has the potential to be. Now, AJ still has potential, and his ceiling is still high too. And his floor is maybe a little higher than Caleb's. Or I think you can trust his floor a little more right now than Caleb. So I think in turn, that's kind of making him a better, highly regarded prospect, rightfully so. He's just a little less raw with his skill set. to where like you can see where he is and where he could be a little more clearly than you can see from Caleb. So I 100%, you know, agree with AJ being the #1 prospect, but Caleb ceiling is so high. He is so raw, and like he has so much untapped potential yet to still be tapped into that is scary, in my opinion. And like I've seen enough pure talent and skill and ability right now, coupled with his potential, that I have no problem putting him as the #2 prospect in this draft. So yeah, man, about to wrap it up over here. You know, just want to chop it up about my Wizards getting the #1 pick. Like I said, I had to pinch myself this morning again. I pinched myself before I did this video again. I had to look it up just to make sure it was actually real again, because I cannot believe my Washington Wizards in their Lord's year of 2026 have the #1 overall pick, and we have the potential to draft AJ DeBanster. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Shout out my Wizards one more time. Ted Leonsis, Michael Winger, Will Dawkins. Shout out to the Dirty Bucket. He a Wizards YouTuber that I've been tapping away with for a little while now. He been consistent. You know, he always dropping the gems on the Wizards, covering the Wizards. So shout out to Dirty Bucket. Shout out Ed Oliver, the real Ed Oliver. You know, he do his thing covering the Wizards as well. If you know, Ed is already, he stamped with the Commanders, but he definitely do his thing with the Wizards too, man. He a real Wizards fan. So I gotta shout out all my day one Wizards fans. We've been through it, man. We've been in the mud. All my Wizards, Locked On Wizards, them guys over there. Shout out you guys. My guy Jalen Morgan. I know he a real Wizards fan. Shout out Jalen Morgan, man. All them dudes I just mentioned, I subscribe to all of y'all, man. Like for real, I'm really, I support y'all, dog. Like I support all my local people, man. Local team, my local people. That's what I do. So shout out all y'all. Shout out the Wizards. Shout out AJ DeBanster. Shout out Darren Peterson. Shout out Cam Boozer, and definitely shout out my boy Caleb Wilson. Watching the Wizards do the right thing. Draft AJ. Don't think twice. If you need to know why, go back and listen to my video I just made. I will explain to you why drafting AJ and not trading back is the better option. Now, Ace Bailey, 2 first-round picks, and we still get Caleb Wilson. If Will Dawkins and Michael Winger view him as equal or even higher than AJ, I'm 100% with that. But if he's not equal to AJ in their eyes, don't think about it. Don't think twice. Just go with AJ, y'all. And we're going to run. We're going to take that and run all the way to the NBA Finals one day. Because best believe we're going to get there. So, shout out all my Wizards fans out there, Wizard Nation. Hey, Wizards Nation, stand up. Hey, stand up. It's our time, y'all. We waited oh my God. We waited so long for this, y'all. We waited so long for this. We waited for times like this to shine like this. Y'all don't get it, man. We haven't won 50 games since the 70s. The 70s. That's the last time we won 50 games. The 70s. The last time we won a championship. The 70s. So, we went through the 80s. We went through the 90s. We went through the 2000s. We went through the 2010s. We in the 2020s. This is the 5th decade. We haven't won 50 games as a franchise in one single season yet since 1979. Can y'all believe that? That's the last time we've been to a finals, too. That's the last time we've been to an Eastern Conference Finals, y'all. We haven't been to a conference finals or won 50 games since the 70s. We deserve this. I don't care what anybody says, any other fan base. Y'all, hey, good luck to y'all. But it was our time. We deserve this, and we're going to take this and run with it. Go Wizards. Hello.